Hi guys, I'm Linda.
I'm Vicky.
And we are partners in crime in the True Crime Tavern. Sorry, I messed that one up.
A lot of words.
So we haven't been around for a while, but we are back and we have some updates on the Vallow case.
Right. And it's quiet for a while, and then all of a sudden it kicks in.
Yeah.
And there were a few things that happened. So we just wanted to, at this time, because we know about this, to bring it to you.
Yeah.
First of all, last week you had heard that they were dropping charges for Chad and Lori about the concealment and
The desertion, right?
the concealment and destruction of evidence. And I thought, what? What the heck are they doing? They're letting them off with that? Why are they doing? Because we know the kids were buried in his backyard. That something was done. They did that to hide the evidence. Well, here it turns out that it's not so bad, because they can still present that evidence at trial. And the thought is that they don't want to take the chance of them just dividing the charges and like saying, okay, we're not going to focus so much on that, and we'll talk about the jury and the judge.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on this part of the charges. And it turns out that they're right, because this week they decided they're going to seek the death penalty for Chad Daybell.
Yep.
And of course, Lori's on the back burner because she's in in an institution. They're trying to restore her competency so that she'll be able to stand trial.
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of theories about what they're doing. One theory we just talked about, and that is just what's the word? My brain isn't working.
Putting out the death penalty.
A strategy.
A strategy, yes, so that they will plead guilty, and then in the end, Rob Wood would only accept that guilty plea if they tell everything at trial, or even, I guess they don't go to trial if they plead guilty, but tell everything about what happened to the kids and the whole timeline. And so that might be a strategy, just so we know exactly what happened.
Right. And the other part of that is the another strategy would be that Chad, knowing that he's facing the death penalty now, would turn on Lori and bring more information that way. Who knows? Is it a political thing that that Idaho's a very liberal, democratic state? Does it have to do with people that are pro-death penalty, not for the death penalty? Are they trying to strengthen their own political positions? That's another point somebody brought up. But the reason they said that he's eligible right now, he is eligible for the death penalty, is because of certain aspects that are required if you're going to impose a death penalty.
Okay.
And they are that the alleged murders were committed for remuneration, for money, that they did it for the money.
Okay, so that would be the Social Security and life insurance.
Right. The other part is they were especially heinous and cruel.
I think everyone would say yes.
Yeah, and it demonstrates exceptional disparity.
Depravity.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And they also said that if the defendant exhibits a complete disregard for human life, and that he has a propensity to commit murder, and that he is likely to do it again.
Yeah. If he's found guilty, he would be considered a serial killer. I think you have to have more than 3 people.
I know she is.
Yeah.
He like with her husband Charles. Mm-hmm. I don't even think he's implicated.
No, but it could be the 2 kids and Tammy.
That's 3.
That's 3.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're that's their reasoning, and that's the law for them to have the decision to seek the death penalty. So they did file notice of intention to seek the death penalty, and the feeling is that probably it'll follow suit for Lori.
I would imagine. Yeah. I did want to interject as far as Lori's concerned. And I got this from Hidden True Crime with Lauren. And on Fridays, she has a lawyer named Lori, but she's considered the good Lori. So they call her the good Lori.
The good Lori.
And they were talking about Lori and what's going on with her. There actually has been a death penalty attorney assigned to Lori.
Yeah.
So she has Mark Means, but they were saying that even though she hasn't been charged, a death penalty attorney has been assigned to her. That person's name is James Archibald.
Yeah.
Mark Means, on the other hand, there is a document filed for a motion of finding a conflict, and that was filed by the state, meaning that they were filing a motion on behalf of a conflict of Mark Means and I guess Lori's case or
Mark
trial.
Means, there's a conflict with him in the case?
Correct. The state filed that.
Oh.
They also said that Mark Means' website has actually been taken down as far back as August 2nd. So it's about the 8th now, so about a week ago. It could have been before that, but that was the first time someone saw that his website has actually been taken down. We don't know if it's being updated or what, but that's very strange that they would, because they would say under construction if they wanted you to come back. You know what I mean? So that's strange too.
He is, though, still listed as the lead attorney in that case.
Right, in the court, but that takes a while. Sometimes they say to be updated. So that could be that she does have a new lawyer. Mark is no longer on the case. What that conflict is, we don't know. There's a lot of things, speculation online. You know, everyone's going to speculate about that kind of thing.
Right.
We don't know why, but the state is asking the judge to find a conflict. So
that's interesting.
We'll see what happened. And it was funny because Lori did say that in the Lifetime movie that Lori had an affair with an angel and Mark Means was their blue-eyed child. And this was in the...
Whoa.
This was in the Lifetime movie. So yes, that's a little strange and off, but...
Yeah.
So many stranger things have happened anyway, so you know where they got that
in another lifetime with her.
Who knows?
But anyway, I did also read that a death penalty attorney has to have the experience behind him of trying death penalty cases.
Right. Where John Pryor fits in, we don't know because I don't believe he has that.
No, Scott Reich looked at his website, at John Pryor's website, to see if what his background actually is. He's done a lot of felony cases. He's also done some misdemeanor cases, but nothing specific to a death penalty case. Okay. So he has the years required stated by the American Bar Association to try a death penalty case, but he doesn't have that death penalty experience. So he's not a certified death penalty attorney.
It's crazy to think that they have to be a certified death penalty attorney.
Right, and you know why? Because they don't want an appeal.
Right. No, it's understandable, but it's just crazy to think in this world in this country, you need that, So,
But anyway, in addition to that, whether John Pryor will swallow his ego and allow another attorney to step in, but there has to be a team. Can't just be a lead attorney. They need investigators. They need I forget there's a whole staff of people
going after witnesses and that sort of thing.
Right, and that would be the investigators.
Okay.
But also the attorneys. So, whether John Pryor has the resources for that, the state isn't going to pay for that for him.
Well, does Chad at this point have the ability to pay for that?
I don't know.
Anyway, he might have to get someone appointed by the state as well.
Yeah, public defender. I don't know. But they do have to have that experience.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, Lori will be, apparently, the 90 days will be up in the beginning of September.
I was going to say, that has to be coming up.
So, yeah.
And maybe that's what they're looking forward to. Maybe they know something about her health.
It's just weird how all of this happened around the same time. She hasn't been presented with those charges, the death penalty charges yet, but yet she has a death penalty attorney. We haven't heard that Mark Means is gone yet. So all of this is happening behind the scenes.
Right.
Obviously they're trying to get ready for trial, and maybe they know that she's actually going to be okay by the beginning of September.
But, she never pled guilty. She didn't have that hearing.
She didn't have the opportunity
So
yet.
they need 60 days after that point. That's the trigger for when they can then disclose whether they're going to do a death penalty or not.
Got it.
So that hasn't occurred because she never had that hearing.
Yeah.
So I know it's controversial, but I think if there's ever a case that required a death penalty, and this is my opinion, it's them.
Yeah. The thing about it is, even if they are convicted and they are, said to be put to death, they would probably never die by, the death penalty. They'd probably die before that ever happened. So
because of the appeal
it just
process.
takes a long, many, many years. Yeah. People are on death row for the rest of their lives for the most part. So I'm sure it's different when you're on death row as opposed to just the regular prison. But
and even Chad's trial, which is supposed to start in November, might be pushed back.
Yeah,
because they need to assemble that
team,
group of people.
Yeah,
and so I'm sure they'll take advantage of that. And he has a hearing scheduled for September 30th.
Okay,
it's a pre-trial hearing. So I'm sure a lot more will come out.
Well, is it a preliminary hearing because of the charges now that they changed?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I just think, any loose ends.
Got it. Okay.
Like the disclosure issues that they've been carrying on about.
So it's an actual trial, though. I mean, an actual hearing. It's not like they're just doing a Zoom call behind the scenes or anything like that.
It's called a pre-trial hearing.
Okay.
And we did talk about Jim Archibald. And
apparently he has some skeletons in his closet too.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yes. Lauren did say that someone had presented her with information, and there's a website that you can go to find out about this, but there were charges against him. We don't know how long ago. I know, I don't have all the details, so I don't want to say what it is, but I will definitely link Lauren's channel. So you guys can check it out. I don't even know if she had it in her description, a link to that, but she does say in that video where you could find it. So,
right, and I have some interesting statistics about the death penalty in Idaho. Apparently, and I'm losing my notes, excuse me. In 1996, more than 3/4 of the country, this is the whole country, favored the death penalty. Since then, that number has fallen between 54 and 59%. And they think that's a result of the work of the Innocence Project.
Oh, yeah.
Which we have talked about in previous videos.
Makes total sense. Once that doubt, just like a jury, once that doubt's in there, you're like, oh my goodness gracious, can I really say that I
agree.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But there have been over 365 DNA exonerations. 21 people were on death row. 25% had falsely confessed.
Oh my God.
And 11% pled guilty. When a small majorities of Americans believe in the morality of capital punishment, 78% are convinced it's applied unfairly. Again,
that would be why.
The Innocence Project has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
There are 46 people on death row in the federal system, but the Attorney General recently issued an indefinite moratorium against carrying it out while President Biden contemplates commuting those sentences to life in prison.
Wow. You know what? I would have thought that there would have been more people on death row. Yeah. Wow.
And then it says Idaho has executed only 3 people since 1957.
So again, even if he gets the death penalty, he'll probably just stay in jail for the rest of his life. But like we said, it could be a ploy to get him to plead guilty and just spill the beans on everything.
Right.
Which is a good, I prefer that than just being charged with on getting put on death row and never saying anything about what had happened. We really want to know. I think everybody wants to know. So that's a better scenario in my book.
And then somebody else said that, I was listening to Court TV, and he usually has people on to talk about the cases that he's discussing. And there was one woman, and I don't know what her role is, but she was saying that she didn't think it was a good idea to give Chad the death penalty because it's what he wants, that notoriety. He wants to be a martyr. He wants to be, with his followers and his cult.
I get it, but he's not going to die anyway that way.
Well, we don't. I mean, but
right, for the
but
statistics show he probably won't.
Right.
Yeah.
In theory.
Okay.
If they say he's going to do it and he's found guilty, and they say they're going to do it, his followers are like, that's his path. That's what that's what her argument was, and there was a point to that too.
But he's not in contact with them anymore. He's not being built up by them. There's a difference when you're out there and everybody's pumping you up and saying how wonderful you are and this and that. Right. He doesn't have that now. So, his brain could be thinking like, oh yeah, this could be something that I really don't want. And maybe he's going to be just someone that just is too scared to think of maybe being put to death, and
there's a lot of speculation,
right?
And a lot of events we'll find out more if there is a trial, and
we won't find out if he pleads.
No, we won't know anything if he pleads,
unless he does spill the beans and they make everything public. Which I think they have to. I don't think they can keep it under wraps.
No, I think there's a law. I forget what it's called, but Freedom of Information Act.
Yeah. I don't think
they think they have to disclose that information, and a lot of the reporters were after the courts because of that.
Yeah.
Because they weren't releasing that information, and that could be the same case with Barry Morphew, because they were so hushed mouth about everything with him. So,
but once it's all done, I think they have to give us that information, which that's all we want. We just want to know. There's no good reason why. We just want to know why. Yeah. Even though it's not a good reason. It's just you just want to know what would make someone do that to these people. why did they think that they were an enlightened being? You know.
I wonder if while she's getting her restorative treatment, if they're allowing her to keep her scriptures, because apparently she was reading them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when she was in jail in Idaho,
Mm-hmm.
she was constantly reading them. So that would be, you know, supporting her crazy theories.
Not necessarily, because when she's reading them, someone is in her ear explaining to her what those scriptures mean, trying to sway her into thinking his way. You know, when
Could
she's
be.
reading them on her own, something might click and she might be like, that's not what that meant. That's not what this meant. Yeah, she could still be crazy and thinking, yeah, I'm supposed to kill these people, and yeah, I'm going to be brought up to, you know, be in charge of these 144,000. We just don't know that. But when you have someone in your ear, someone that you believe, someone that you think is a God telling you, this is the way this is what this means, this is what this means, you know, now that they're away from each other and he doesn't have his followers, things are probably not looking the same to them, I would think.
I don't think she knows what's going on.
That's what a lot of people think, that she's just messed up.
And not only mentally, but I don't know how much of the news and the articles that we see.
Oh, she probably doesn't see any of that.
Yeah, so she doesn't know if he has followers still. She doesn't know.
She doesn't.
She doesn't know the extent of...
But she can't contact him. He can't contact her. So that was where...
Unless they're in the portal.
Yeah. There you go. They thought of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
So, yeah, you know, I said it early on when we were first doing this case. If she ever came out of the fog that she's in and realized what she has done, she's really going to be a mess. I don't know if that will help her recover. How could you? After you've done something like that, and you know, you're starting to realize that, oh my God, I was wrong.
Yeah.
That would make you crazy too. So.
Yeah, especially killing your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe it was all a big act and she was just doing what she needed to do, acting the way she needed to act to just get what she wanted. And that's messed up too.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just such a crazy story.
Now, we wanted to put something out there. Did you have anything else about
No.
the updates?
No, we were going to talk about the phone call.
Yeah, so Vicki thought it would be a good idea for if any of our viewers actually wanted to talk to us, and we could do a video and post it while we're discussing things with our viewers. So, you know, we could have one-on-one conversations and post that. We could have, and we would need help with this one, a Zoom call with a bunch of our viewers at one time. So you let us know what you want to do. We would love to include our viewers into these videos and have conversations with you.
Now, we know you can't, if you're in Ireland or Switzerland or Australia, we know you can't physically be with us. Maybe you can.
Yeah.
But if you can't, we could work it out.
Yeah.
We could work it out either by a phone call or maybe with a Zoom if we get...
I mean, we'd love to see your faces, so that would be the best.
Be great.
And just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and you know, we would love to hear from you. And if you disagree with any of our points, it would be great to know your side of the story and what you know and what we need to know. That would be terrific.
And I know some of you have said that you'd love to consult with us and talk to us about certain things. So, you know, we have reached out and just waiting to hear back from some people that have grown up Mormon or LDS, so they understand the teachings and they can kind of talk about what they learned when they were growing up, their beliefs, and how this case went off the rails with these two people, and not just these two people, everyone involved. There's Julie Rowe, there's Melanie Gibb, Melanie Pulowski, you know, a lot of these people just...
And we would love to talk to them. I doubt if that would happen, but hey, you never know.
But we can keep an open mind.
Right. Now, I noticed that in some of the comments, people have corrected things that we've said. So that would be great.
Yeah.
If you could tell us, and we can hear it, and our viewers could hear it, and, you know, we would know the right information.
Correct. Yeah.
So that would really be helpful.
Yeah. So let us know, comment, reach out to us, and then we can coordinate. We would probably have to email first, so you know it's not in the comments and your information isn't out there and all that kind of stuff. But there is in our on our page, there is a section, and my email is in there. So just know that you can always reach out to me. I think it's in the About tab at the top. So always know that you have that email there if you ever want to reach out to me. And it's not listed in the comments, so then we can do it one-on-one, you know, and get your information and that sort of thing where no one else knows that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys, and I guess we're going to say until next time.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.